That's the problem. When I tested it, it was just pulling what was in the buffer, not the actual produce item. Okay. That's a very easy thing to fix. If all problems were that simple, life would be grand, wouldn't it? Okay. There we go. Now it's starting to reproduce. Or not reproduce. Produce. I don't think these guys have sex, do they? Maybe they do. I don't know. Sentient machines that are horny? Could happen. Welcome back, everybody, to Star Rupture. I am the Bearded OG, and in this episode, we are going to get started with some production lines. So I have spent quite a bit of time off camera fixing stuff around the base, redoing the bus line, and getting stuff up and running. So basically, I had to go around and rebuild all of the multi-rails because I had a few of you guys telling me in the comments that's why I wasn't seeing the product flow. So every place that had a multi-rail has been replaced and tested, and everything is now once again working. And yeah, that took a hell of a long time to do. We also have moved our 3 Wolfram products that used to be over here over to there, and what I did with those is I ran the line around here. I didn't want to run them underneath because we might need, to punch some holes in the platform, if we have to go down low and whatnot. So I ran those around here, through there, around the other side, and they are in those storage bins right there. The very last one is the glass. I just pushed that over, and then those 3 are the Wolfram. Then everything else is still the same as it was before. I had a couple of storage depots here for building products. I moved those across over to here and added 3 more, and those are now full, so we have plenty of building materials. There was 1 or 2 multi-rails down at our calcium base that I had to fix, so I replaced those. And then also there were several up there at the titanium production that I had to do. Another interesting thing has happened. When I logged back in after the last time, if you take a look at my core at the top of my screen, which shows up, we now have a massive amount of space on that core. So something happened when I logged out. Maybe there was an update or something, and then I came back in, and now we've got like a ton of space on the core. Because I don't think we were over that far. I mean, when we were way over that, we were like 1,830 something. I don't know. Anyway, it seems like I now have all kinds of room on this core, way more than I had before. So something changed. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but I'm certainly not complaining because now we have lots of room to expand. Is there anything else I need to update you on? Not really. I think that's pretty much it. And we did, like I said, I did redo the bus line here. I decided to still, well, I did a couple things different. I did push stuff back further this way from what I had before. I was more like maybe all the way out to here. But I also decided to move this up 2 notches instead of 1, so we have a little more room to go down underneath if we need to. And and then each one is 2 notches up, not 1 notch, but 2 notches up from the next one, just to give ourselves more space, more room, to move in and out, and so on and so forth. And then this core here basically stops right at the line of the launchers, the orbital launchers. And so I figured, well, okay, we'll just stop there for now, and we'll start building, and then when we get to the point where we're up against the orbital launchers, then we'll put a new core down, and we'll continue pushing to the north. Yeah, we'll just keep pushing to the north. We may ultimately go all the way to the base of that mountain when this is all said and done. I don't know. We'll see. We could also expand a little bit to the west too if we had to. So, but I want to kind of keep the bus line a straight line, is at least to the mountain before we have to do anything different with it. And so that's the plan there. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to start setting up permanent production chains for everything that's over and above what's coming in here. Okay? And so, you know, we're going to base that both on what we need to do for the corporations. Since I need to do it anyways, we might as well just re-earn them rather than spending our points, and then we can save our points for other things. And then, you know, like I said, we'll just kind of see how, you know, where we're at in terms of space once I kind of get all that basic stuff in place, and then expand as needed. Okay, so I think that gets you guys all updated on stuff. I am going to need to put some more defenses in because bugs do come in from over there and start to try and infect the machine, so that needs to be done too. But it's not an overwhelming thing at this point, so you know, we'll just deal with it. But I will, you know, get some turrets in place eventually. Those two turrets there seem to have no trouble, you know, stopping the few bugs that come from that direction, because there is a monolith right over there. But we also, you know, get them coming from that side too. So we'll put some turrets down, but not going to worry about that right now because I want to get going on getting these productions set up. It is also on the to-do list for us to go do some exploration, particularly to the south and the west, which is where the map has opened up the most. So that's coming up too, but I want to get these productions going first before we go out and explore. So let's go into here. The other thing that I'm thinking about doing maybe in this episode too is I want to try out the recycler. And we already have everything we need for that. I just want to see what this does. My guess is... Okay, it says it recycles into various building materials, so that seems to suggest that it's going to give us building materials as opposed to like lower level, like, you know, ingots and stuff like that, which is actually good. I would prefer that, because I don't want to end up with a whole bunch of ingots again. We got those things coming out our ears. So... in order to do that, we already have this stuff. So let's go. I'm sure the titanium beams are going to give us more points, and we already have all of that plugged in. So really, all we need to do, or should need to do, is just set up, you know, some orbital launchers for that, and it should start pulling because the beams are right. I think coming into that storage depot right there. So that's what we'll do first, and then we'll start, you know, building out what we need to build out. Okay, so let's go Selenium, and yeah, this gives 25, and we should start seeing movement on the bus for that. Yep, there it is. Look at that, it's working. I didn't actually test this. I haven't tested it yet. I just, you know, I spent several hours, off-camera hours, building all this last night, and by the time I was, you know, got this far, it was like I had to go to bed. It was too late to stay up any further, so I haven't actually even tested this yet, but it looks like it's working. Freaking amazing. Now, yeah, if we look at the bus, so anything coming down this bus can go into any one of these storage depots, you know, based upon how I have everything set up here. So they all just kind of go into, you know, the what are those things called? They are called rail modulators. Yeah. So they go into the rail modulators there, and then go into like these T pieces, and then everything can go to every single storage depot. Whoops. Okay, so are we done already? No, not yet. So let's just turn this on for everything for now, and then this should go pretty damn quick, I'm thinking. And then we'll just switch over the orbital launchers, you know, after this is done with whatever the next thing is. Or even if it isn't done, we can, whatever the second thing is that we do. Oh, actually, you know what I should do? Well, here, let's just turn all of them on for the moment. Let's go see if there's anything else that we need to do that's already hooked up and ready to go. Because that way we'll get that real early stuff out of the way. And there we go. Okay. There it goes. Love it. Okay, so let's go back and see what's next in with the corporations. And everything's moving down the line. They're all spinning. That's cool. I love it. All right. So we'll see what's next. I think... I don't even think we've done anything yet for future health. And well, we've done whatever one was. So this just requires wolfram bars. I don't think I have... Do I have wolfram bars? I don't believe I do. So for that one... In fact, here... yeah, that's wolfram bars, and then we're doing selenium. This one's going to be a little bit higher level stuff, which we do need to set up production lines for, because we got all the way to 6 on Griffiths. This one's going to need even higher end stuff that we don't have yet, so that's going to be a little while before we go anything else with moon energy. And Stator. So Stators will probably actually be the first production line that we're going to set up for Clever Robotics. So we'll work on that today. That's the plan. But what we could do for... Yeah, I don't actually have wolfram ingots coming into the base, so I do have them over there. Why don't we just run over there? We'll throw down a depot real quick and get that, you know, just get it done over here. It's not a big deal to do that. We don't quite have the slide and jump momentum that we do in Satisfactory. It's kind of a bummer. We do want to get zip lines going pretty soon too, just to check those out. Oh shit. Okay. So we're just gonna go over here, and these guys are making the ingots, right? Okay, so why don't we... I don't imagine this is going to take too long to do. Let's just temporarily... Well, here, I know what. Let's do this. Let's cut this line here. And we'll put... Nope, Z's not working on that. Z seems to be kind of hit and miss these days. Sometimes it seems to work, sometimes it doesn't. Okay, now what we'll do is we'll put some storage depots down here. Yeah, let's just run 2. Well, we could... Yeah, if we can run 4 or even 5. Oh, no, wait, what am I doing? Sorry, I'm putting the wrong thing down. My bad. We need to put orbitals down, not storage depots. See, Z works for the tiles, but yeah, it doesn't work on everything. It's really weird. Orbital launchers, there we go. So we can't... We could put 1 here, 1 here, 3. That's good. That'll work. Okay. And now we'll set these to future health. Okay, and then we'll run you into... Oh shit, I got that going the wrong direction. Damn it, Jim. And we can't pass these through either, can we? Oh, what if I do this? No, it's still too tight. Okay. So yeah, I gotta turn these around. Was not paying attention. So let's just reset these because it makes it easier. And we'll go back to orbital launcher. Let's have the input be there, there, and this one maybe there. Except for, no, we got 2 coming out the other side. So this one should go the other way too. All right, just bring that up, turn it like that. Okay, now we should be able to pop you into there, you into there, and you into there. It's a beautiful thing. Oh, game safe. Okay, now we do future health, and future health. There we go. Okay, so we got 3 of those going, and I would expect that we'll finish probably way before we're done with this episode, so very good. All right, let's head on back and do the next thing. By the way, just want to say appreciate everybody watching the videos. I am a very, very busy guy in real life for lots of different reasons, so I don't have a lot of time to make videos. But I will try. I'll try to get a couple of Star Ruptures out a week, which is probably the most that I can do. Usually I only do around 1 a week, but since the views are picking up on it, I'll try and do, see if we can get a couple out a week. I also have another series going on with The Infected, which I'm really enjoying. So if you guys are interested, come check that out too. It's a super, super fun survival game. And yeah, so I just appreciate everybody watching, appreciate the comments, and keep them coming. All right, so what do we do next? Let's go take a look. Are we already done with... We probably are. 23... Oh, no, we're not. So, yes, we are. We're done with Selenium, so let's claim the recycler. Look at that. Okay, nice. And then the next thing you're going to need is ceramics and tubes. So, oh, actually, you know what? We have tubes coming in. We actually have tubes coming in, so let's do that one next. Might as well. Take advantage of the situation while the situation's easy, right? That's what we shall do. So we're just going to switch all of these to... Oh, man, it's going to give me a bunch of beams, but that's good. The other thing, though, is I have a bunch of excess ceramics. We could throw those in a storage depot and feed them in here just to use them. That might be a smarter move. At least till we use them all up. So yeah, let's do that. All right, so what we're going to do then in that case is we're going to... let's do this. Let's set a storage depot here. I don't remember... yeah, that's fine. Exactly how many I have, so let's put 2 down. And we'll just temporarily cut this line here. See, this is the beauty of having this bus, man. Makes things so much more flexible for us. I'm already very glad that we set it up, and we just barely started using it. Okay, so I think in here I have... Yeah, I've got all of these ceramics. These are the ones that I actually made to upgrade the base core and then decided to do the amplifiers instead. So let's use these up first. Do I have any more of those? None in there. If I had any more of those, they would probably be in one of these overflow bins. That's all chemicals and glass and silicon. Yeah, okay, so I think this is probably all I have. Which actually makes sense because we had to set up that special production to, to do that, right? So, okay, so we're going to set this to ceramics, and then we're going to load these in. And set this one to ceramics and load these in, and we'll be able to use all of these up. And then if we don't hit it by then we'll set up a ceramic production. And with the bus line, it doesn't really matter what order we do any of that in, because it should all just flow. Okay, so now grab those. What we'll probably end up doing with those beams is trying them out in the recycler. Kind of makes sense to do that since I'm sure the depots has filled back up by now, more than likely. We only have one depot and they're all smalls, so they fill up quickly. We'll eventually get to the larger ones, of course, which will be nice. And that's moving down the line. Beautiful. All right. Okay, so we got that done. And with a little bit of luck, we'll be able to use all of those up and hit the production or the corporation limit. But even if we don't, at least we put a dent in it. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, so now the recycler is the next thing we're going to try, except for let's just take a look and see. Oh, see, we're already at 98%. Yeah, I knew that was going to go fast. So that's just about done. This is actually going really fast too. So I don't know. We'll see. It's possible. I don't. Yeah, we probably won't have enough to do the whole thing, but we'll put a big dent in it anyways. Okay, so we're waiting. So we know we need to do stators. We're probably going to need to do ceramics. I mean, we got to do them anyways. But before we mess with that, let's try out this recycler. Is this something we just keep in our base? I've never done anything with it before. Okay, so where would that be? Yeah, it is. Okay, cool. So why don't we put this in here? Maybe right. Yeah, let's put it there.
Very useful device. It greatly sped up the process of redistributing wartime loot.
And now you can use it for peaceful purposes. Remember that the clothes iron was also invented to torture prisoners, and yet you've used it to iron clothes, right?
I'm pretty sure that's not true.
I was going to say, I've never heard that before, but who knows, man? They did some motherfucking sick stuff back in medieval times to people. It makes me sick to my stomach. But fortunately, unfortunately, it still kind of can happen, I guess, today, but not as much as it used to. All right, so if we put this in there, that gives us 800 elementary building material. The smallest building block for every product. Okay, this is a new item. I haven't messed with it before. I like the fact that we can instantly recycle this stuff. We don't have to, wait for it to do its thing, so that's handy. So that gave us 3,168 of those things. Now, if we look in here, what do we use those for? Oh, basic building material. This is locked. So is this just another way to... Okay, so it looks like it takes 10 of the small ones to make one of the big ones? All right. What do we need to unlock that? Basic building materials. Okay, boom. There we go. New recipe, basic building material. So... Okay, I get it. So we recycle stuff in the recycler. It gives us the elementary building material, and then we can use 10 of those to make the normals. That's interesting. Why didn't they just give us basic building materials from the recycler? That kind of seems like one of those things that's like kind of an unnecessary step. I mean, I get the fact that we want to add more content to the game and make it more fun, and in spite of some of the comments I've received from some of you, I really actually like the idea of this thing here. This thing, I don't know, it just adds more content. Some of you think that was unnecessary, and everybody's entitled to their own opinion. Absolutely, I get it. But to me, I don't know, I think that enhanced the game. But this is a little too much, unless there's another purpose for this. But why don't we just get basic building materials from the recycler? I don't know. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense in my brain, but Anyway, it is what it is, so we'll make it work. Alright, so let's put those in there. I do love the recycler, though. I like the idea of it. Okay, so we are now done with future health, and let's get the regeneration chamber. The next one is another Wolfram bar or a wire. Well, we already have the wire, and it's probably going to give us more points. But we already have the Wolfram bar set up. So it's kind of 6 of one, half dozen the other, if you ask me. I'm going to have to go back over there to tear all that down anyway. Well, okay, so since these guys are all working on the other one, let's go back down here and let's just reset these to use the bars again. Because here again, it's not going to take that long, and it's just easy peasy lemon squeezy. Okay, so
nice.
We will set this to future health and just continue doing Wolfram bars. And actually what we should do is this, and then load those back in there. Future health bars, load the bars. We have 1 bar. Is there room in here? There we go. Oop, we gotta hit it right away. And go. There we go.
Dehydrated.
Nice. Dehydrated. Alright, let's take a couple of these for now. Okay, so we'll let that one do its thing. Cheap and easy, man. Just like me. Alright, looks like we're done with the next one. Let's go do that to turn in and keep on keeping on. We're making progress. Okay, so yeah, we finished all of our extra ceramics, so let's take... Well, actually, you know what? Let's leave those there momentarily in case we want to or need to use them for some other surplus that we have. Oh, we did it! Look at that! Fan-frickin-tastic, man. Okay. So we got that done. The next one requires synthetic silicon glass, which, again, we have a shit ton of surplus for. So let's come back to that one. We're 4% on future health, so that one's going to go a little slower, but that's okay. Okay, let me look at these again. That we do have some surplus on that, but not a lot. For Griffiths, we have no geothite ore, nor do we have batteries, so that one we're not doing anything on. The stators we have to build. Do I have stators? I don't think I have a significant surplus of stators. If I have them at all, they would probably be in here. Yeah, we have like 200 stators. Okay, let's actually grab them. And we'll just manually feed them in. So I think then the next thing we want to do is... We're working on that one right now. Yeah, I think Stators is the first production we're going to build. I already mentioned that, so we can get the zip line and keep progressing. But we could probably do Griffiths, or, well, you know, that'll get us the Mega Press. Yeah, okay, let's do Selenium again. My guess is that synthetic silicon is going to give us more points than glass. I have a pretty decent surplus of both of those things. So let's go see what the depot says. For this guy here... Wait a minute, what do I have? Yeah, stators. Okay, so let's go clever here. And we'll just load these two in right now. But we're gonna have to set up a production line, of course, for those. Now for Selenium, oh, we even have
I can use that.
Ceramics back. Okay, yeah. So we're gonna set this to synthetic silicon then, and we'll probably hang on to the ceramics a little bit longer before we recycle them.
Increased Rupture activity.
Alright, we're gonna get
Prepare for
a
a
star
wave.
rupture here. Let's set these to silicon. And then we'll go grab 8 stacks of silicon. Do I have any in here? No. Most this stuff is all real basic stuff, so we're probably going to end up recycling all of that. So silicon, I believe, yeah, we have quite a bit in here, but we also have, in addition, yeah, oh god, we have tons. Okay, so that gives us 8 stacks, right? Yeah, okay, let's get those going. Okay, and we'll just let that run while we wait out the rupture. I'll see you guys on the other side.
Rupture's eruption has started. Prepare for impact. Star Rupture has started. Hide. Extreme temperature detected.
Okay, so Rupture is over. We're at 15% on Future Health, 5% on Selenium, and 8% on Clever. And looks like Clever used up all of our stators, so it's stopped. And Selenium, right? Yeah, Selenium's still going. Okay, so let's continue feeding the silicone into here. And that way we can use it up. We got the harvester mining damaged by 25% limb, which is nice. I already have one of those from before, so we just have a spare now. I wonder, can you stack those though? I bet we can. 50% would be huge for asteroid mining. Let's go ahead and just pop that in next to the other one. Okay, so Stators. That is going to be our first production that we're going to set up. I'm excited. This is going to be fun. Our first official use of our bus. So yeah, anything on the other side of this walk is where we'll start building. We'll just leave this as open space here. And so, what do we need for stators? I don't remember off the top of my head, but we're going to need... I think that's just a fabricator recipe, right? Let's just set that down there momentarily. And yeah, stators. Okay, so we need titanium housing and wolfram wire. Okay, so... well, the way I think I'm going to handle this is... so this is kind of the start of where we'll build. Let's get up in the air here. And wolfram wire is going to be on this high line over here. So that makes things a little interesting in terms of building it down there. We certainly can do that. You know what? Now that I think about this, I wonder... if we should slide all of this down here. So this end of the bus starts over here. That would be a pain in the ass to do, but it's obviously we could do it. And it would set us up better for the future. But I just don't know if I want to do that. Okay, if we don't do that, then what are our options? This could be one situation where, you know, running underneath the platform might make sense. So, okay, here's what I think we're going to do, guys. In hindsight, if I build something like this again in the future, I'd put all of the storage depots further down so that this one starts over here. I'm not going to do that this time. It's just too much extra work, and it'd be boring for me to do that on camera, and I don't have enough time in real life to do it off camera. So we're going to just stick with this, but that's just kind of note to self, you know, a learning thing, I guess you could call it, for future builds. Right, okay, so now that we've established that, here, let's pull this back down. The way that I think I'm going to do this is... Let's grab a fabricator. We'll flip it this way. Actually, no, let's turn it this way. We're going to set this up in such a way that we can expand it if we need to, but we're not going to go crazy right out, you know, out of the chute with it either. So, and we want to leave room for rails. So I think we'll start it right here. And that gives us 2 tiles if we needed to put, you know, stuff in there. Why don't we do... Let's just start with 2 fabricators, and we can adjust as needed. Okay, so we're going to set this to wait, rotors? No, not rotors, stators. We're doing stators, not rotors. Stators, okay. Set both of those to stators. And the other thing is the titanium housing. What's that coming in on? Oh. Why has this not filled back up? We have a problem, Houston. The housings are coming in on the second line. Okay. Put that on hold. We got a problem here. Why isn't this filling back up? Something's wrong. Alright, we gotta go investigate that. Because that should be... Yeah, that should be pulling that back in. I did test that off camera and it was working. So, what the hell? Oh, maybe we have a bug problem. That could be it. Do we have a bug problem up here? It doesn't appear like we do. Where's the housings? The housings are here. Housing, housing, housing. That's the problem. When I tested it, it was just pulling what was in the buffer, not the actual produced item. Okay. That's a very easy thing to fix. If all problems were that simple, life would be grand, wouldn't it? Okay. There we go. Now it's starting to reproduce. Or not reproduce. Produce. I don't think these guys have sex, do they? Maybe they do. I don't know. Sentient machines that are horny? Could happen. Anyhoozle, I really got off track there, didn't I? We fixed that. Okay, so that was just me being a numbskull and forgetting to put that rail in. Gotcha. Okay, let's go back. You know what? Oh, that's right. We recycled those other ones. Never mind. Okay, back to this. So, let's get up in the air. We need to pull off of this bus for the housings. So I think to do that, what we will do is... Let's put a rail connector right here. It's out of work nicely. And We could maybe do this instead. Yeah, let's put it there. Okay, and then the wrong button. It's the housing that we need. Oh, you know what we could do? We don't even need to pull that one off the bus. We could just straight up bring it off the depot, huh? I mean, why not? Why wouldn't we do that, right? Yeah, let's just do that. And if we're going to do that, we don't even really need the rail connector. Oh, actually, yeah, we could still use the rail connector. Let's do that. And let's put a... Yeah, of course, as usual, I'm standing, whoops, right where I need to go. Move over here. Okay, grab this rail connector, put it right. Alright, either one way or the other, we're not going to be able to put this in the center. Unless I made those 4 tiles, but... That's the thing about this game that is mildly frustrating to me. Is you can't, it's difficult, I shouldn't say you can't, but it's difficult to line everything up on perfect 90-degree angles, just because of the way the game works, I guess. That means this line is either straight and then this is cockeyed a little bit from there, or this is straight and that's off. I think I would rather have the line itself be straight. Right, okay, so we're going to put you there, and we're going to put you there. And then we're going to run... The way I'm going to do this, we only need one line going into both of those. Okay, and then you come to here, and because that's a stair step, it comes over the top of this nice and cleanly. I love it. It's beautiful. Okay, now what we'll do is we'll go over here, and we got to pull off of there. So what we're going to actually do is we're going to run back to you from over here. And it's the wire, right, that we're doing. So again, we could just run straight off the depot here and not even put it on the bus. Okay, yeah, we could. Here's something else that just occurred to me. We could actually connect this or this to the actual bus itself. And in doing that, it cycles the material down here and wraps it around to get it onto here. Just for, for the productions that are on this end of the platform. That gives us more flexibility. Do I do that, or do I just keep things the way that they are? Because it really only applies to this, because once we get over here, we're already now in line with this bus. I think I'm going to just keep setting up the way that I currently am. Except for this one, maybe we will do that. Maybe we'll run... No, let's just keep doing what I'm doing. I mean, you could do it both ways, right? And there's not necessarily a right or wrong way to do it. Okay, we're going to run into a problem with this guy being right in our line. We're going to have to go over it, which we actually can do. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to grab the rail connector. We're going to make it one of these. And we're going to put it... right where I'm standing. Of course! Of course that's what's going to happen. Oh my god. It's funny, actually. Alright, let's lock that in, bring it all the way up to here. And we're going to do this. Well, actually, we could just put it here and run it right off the depot. Yeah, let's do that instead. Again, multiple ways to do it. One way might be a little better than the other, but I don't think it's drastically better, you know? Okay, if we move this over one more, then we'll have a nicer curve there, and it won't be like an S curve. Alright. Well, it's still an S curve, but it's a better S curve, I guess. I don't know. Okay, now we need to run down to you. I don't want to necessarily have that be angled down. I want it to go straight and then drop down sharply because I just think that looks neater. So in order to accomplish that, we're going to need to set another one of these. I mean, we could either do this or this, but we'll do a rail connector. Here, bring it all the way up to here. And then run you to you. And you... whoops. Oh. I'm out of building resources? I certainly am. I'm going to leave those in the storage, and we're going to use up the ones that we have in here first. Building material.
Huh, yes.
Oh, let's also keep feeding silicon into here. I completely spaced that one off, didn't I? Go grab some more of that, because I still have plenty. Alright, we got the silicon flowing again. The silicon must flow. Alright, now back up to here. Grab this, grab you, go to there. And that gets our wire connected. Okay, so we have the inputs done. Now, we need to get this back on the bus. And the other thing, you know, we really do, or should ideally do, it's going to be more important the further down we get, but we should have crossovers so stuff on this bus could get pulled onto this one could get pulled onto that one, and then vice versa. But we don't actually, hold on, no, we don't really need to do that at all, at least not right now, because the way I have that set up, everything can still get to the launcher, so we're fine for now in terms of that, right? So we just need to get this product back on now to this bus. So to do that, what we'll do is we'll come out of you guys. So let's grab rail connectors here. Yeah, let's put one there and one there. I'm making this shit up as I go, as usual. That's part of the fun, though. I've got several hundred hours into Satisfactory. I'm certainly not a Satisfactory Pro, but I'd like to think I'm fairly good at the game. And the thing about Satisfactory and the way that I guess my brain works or whatever is I have to plan those factories out, which means I have to spend a lot of off-camera time figuring out, building the prototype, and then, you know, turn it down and building it for real on camera. And it takes such an enormous amount of time. I love Satisfactory, I really do. It's just one of my favorite games, but it's just really hard, you know, to find the time to do it. This game, it seems to me like this game is more like a fly by the seat of your pants. I'm not saying you shouldn't think about certain things, you should, but I don't know, it seems to be easier to do it just on the fly and you kind of figure it out. Part of it though is actually that, you know, just trying to figure it out too. So, all right, we could keep this the same level and tap into here. Okay, yeah, so what if we put this here? And run this to there. If I bust this line and go here, that's gonna look neater. So we need to get all the way down to there. Only... Oh, I know what we need to do. We need to put another one of these in. Yeah, okay. This whole bus thing is new to me. And I'm really having fun with it, but it is new to me, so... Things that might seem obvious to you more experienced players, not necessarily obvious to me. That, okay, here again, we're going to have the same problem. I can either keep this nice and straight and have that be a little jank, or I could make this a double, move it over, and have this look nice and straight, and then this be off a little bit. So there's just nothing we can do about it. It's just the way this game is. So I'm not going to worry about it, you know? It's like what they say, don't spend time worrying about things you can't change. Okay, so that gets that on the line. And it's moving down. Hell yeah, look at that. Success, ladies and gentlemen. We've set up our very first production line on our bus. Love it. I still think what we should probably do is have like a central avenue going, you know, down this way. So anything we run across these 5, 6-ish tiles? 4 tiles. We'll just line it up with the core. You know, we'll want to either go under or up and over so we still have kind of a clear avenue there. For accessibility and for aesthetic ability. Is that a word? Aesthetic ability? Probably not. But it works. Okay, cool. Let's assess where we are. Are we done with the silicon? I would say we are because it's not pulling anymore. All right, let's go take a look-see and see where we're at with our corporations. Yep, we are done with Selenium. Beautiful. And we now have access to the Mega Press once again. Yeah, yes. What's next? Impellers and electronics. Okay, we have a surplus of electronics that we could feed. And that'll give us some quartz. Okay. Where are we at? Okay, we're 63% with future health. If we wanted to boost that and just get it done. Let's just do that. So let's set half of these to Clever Robotics, and the other half we'll just set to Wolfram Wire, and
Gotcha.
that should speed things up. The one thing that I'm not doing with this build is I'm not really paying attention to flow rates and stuff, so it's not necessarily going to be 100% efficient from that regard. If this was satisfactory, I would definitely be paying attention to that, but you know, I'm still new to the game and I'm still trying to get my brain around it, so I just want to get shit to work for now, even if it's not 100% efficient. And you know, we can, as we get better at the game, we can also figure out efficiency better. Okay, so that's about half of them, right? Okay, so now let's set you to Wolfram Wire, just to speed this one up. All right, fantastic. Look at all that product flowing, man. It's a beautiful thing. I love it. Maybe we should get a screenshot here. Let me turn my camera off for a second. And then we'll turn off the HUD, and that'll be our screenshot for this episode. Amazing. Okay, turn the HUD back on, turn the camera back on. Wait for the game to kick back in. Fan-friggin-tastic, ladies and gentlemen. This is beautiful. Okay, so future health should be sped up quite a bit now. Yeah, it's already now at 77%. Clever Robotics should be cranking along nicely. So yeah, it won't take too much longer for that. So let's look at Griffiths again. So Griffiths, I have quite a few surplus inductors, so we could feed that in for Griffiths. We are gonna have to set up a production for that, though. I don't think I have a ton of stabilizers. I have a few extra, but not a lot. So we could do that, or we could... Yeah, we can't do anything with moon energy right now. Not until we start getting geothite ore, which, you know, we'll go look at that area, you know, when we do our exploration episode, which will probably be the next episode. So yeah, we can't really do anything more with moon energy at the moment. This we're working on right now. Selenium, we have surplus electronics and we have surplus inductors and or stabilizers. And then you are... Oh yeah, let's claim that. This we could plug in now. Yeah, okay, yeah, because future health just finished, right? So this we could plug in right now. And again, rods or sheets. Probably rods are going to be a few more points than sheets, I would guess. So... yeah, these are all done. We'll pull that back. Go to future health. Oh no, really? Sheets are more than rods? I would have thought it's the other way around. Okay. Well, we got them hooked up, so let's do sheets. See, it's the cool thing about this is it's not taking us long to get all this stuff back, you know, and that way we can conserve our points for more in-game stuff later. And like I said, a lot of anything that we're actually going to build a production for, we have to do anyways, so we might as well just do it like this. It's more fun this way. Okay, so that should be pulling sheets in now. Let's take a quick look-see at how many additional... Okay, hold on. Let's go back here again. So Clever's now up to 63. That's already at 2%, so that's going to go fairly quick. So inductors, stabilizers for Griffiths, or electronics for Selenium. I don't have a huge amount of extra electronics. But I do think I have, yeah, I've got a full, well, oh no, actually, I guess it's not a full thing of inductors. All right, well, let's go ahead and do the inductors next. So that gives me 4 full stacks right there. Okay. We'll load up these guys. So we want to set you to inductors. And pull all of this back out. We still have a bunch of extra silicon. Yeah. Set to inductors. I should have actually done this one first, but that's okay. Here we go. Okay, and then we'll switch over a couple orbitals down here to that. I think we'll just keep Clever going and we'll split up future health. Maybe this one here. Go to Griffiths. Oh. Yeah, that's right. That's going to put some stuff on. Okay, I'll pull it all off. Okay, let's hold to take all. That clears. Gonna have to clear each section here. Okay. Where else are we beeping? Right here? Hold to take all. I think that clears them. I think we're good now. Okay, and that brings the inductors through for Griffiths. All right, ladies and gents, I think we're at a probably at a pretty good stopping point here. What we're going to do in the next episode is we're going to go do some exploration. And I'd like to start doing some geothite. We need to start doing sulfur, but we still don't quite have those machines yet. We're working our way back up to those machines. So we're going to do some exploring to the south and west in the next episode. And just, kind of break things up, have fun with that. I'll keep working on, getting our corporation uploads done for anything I can do, with surplus, but I won't build any more new productions until I'll do that with you guys on camera, probably in the next, in 2 episodes from now. So with that being said, thanks everybody for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, share out the video, and we'll catch you all in the next episode. Bye-bye.